Hello everyone, welcome back to Crafts by the Bow and welcome to our September Global Video Collaboration Group. And we're a group of demonstrators from around the world, and every month we get together to make a video and a project or a card that all belongs to the same theme. And this month we've chosen back to school because hopefully our children are going back to school this month. And I've chosen to use the Harvest Hellos, and I want to use the little apple on here and make a set of cards for a teacher. Now the apple and the pumpkin, if you look carefully, you'll see that they're exactly the same size and shape, and so it has just one punch that punches out both of the images. And I'm going to use just the apple with some of the sentiments, and let's pop those on one side and I'll show you. I'm going to make a little set of sweet 3x3 cards, and I'm using one of the mini pizza boxes that I'm going to decorate, and I'm going to put a little treat inside. So let me show you first how I made the cards. All of the cards are exactly the same theme. I've just changed the colours up, that's all. And because I want to make a lot at the same time, I'm using my Stamparatus. And this is a really clever little machine that if you want to make something in bulk, you put your stamps on these clear plastic plates and you just ink them up, stamp, take your card out, put another one, stamp. If you haven't got quite enough ink on, it doesn't matter because your piece of card isn't going to move. So you just ink up again and stamp over the top. And it really is a time saver if you're doing something precise or if you're making a lot of something. So I'm going to start and make some of my apples. And I've already found out where I want my stamp to go. And to do that, I've got a piece of card, and you can line this up right at the top, but I don't want to do that because I'll end up with a little waste piece here. So I always put mine on the second line down, and then I take one of the magnets. Oh, let me turn it round. Just that line wasn't quite straight. I take one of my magnets, put on the left hand side, and my other magnets, you can tell it's already broken in half. And that was because I put two magnets really close to each other, and they're really, really strong magnets. So they're still fine to use, but I just make sure that I don't have two together anymore. Okay, so I'm going to get my Memento ink, and I'm just going to ink up that little apple stamp. And then I'm going to put the plate down and just press. Let me move this down a little bit so you can see a bit better. Okay, now that's actually a perfect image, but if there was a little spot here that hadn't inked quite enough, all you do is you get your ink, go back over your stamp, push that down, and you'll get a better image there. And then at the other side of the Stamparatus is another plate. And so what I've done here is I've lined up my sentiment that I want to go on. I'm just going to pop my ink on, like that. Now, what I can also do is I'm just going to turn this piece of card around. I'm going to line it back up in the same sort of place, put my magnets back on, and I want to put another apple over here because I don't want to waste all my card. So I'm just inking up. Make sure that goes on there. Okay, but I don't want that sentiment. So what I've also done is I've taken the plate out and I've put another sentiment on the back of the plate so that I can do whichever sentiment I want as I'm going along. I don't have to worry about taking the card out, finding another stamp that goes in there. And see how quick that makes it? Okay, so I don't need to do any more stamping at the moment. So I'll pop that down. And I'm just going to find the punch. Let's put that ink away first. And then to make the punch work, you might find that there's too much card down here and you can't get all of that in there. So I'm just going to cut my card in half, and that means that I can cut a little bit off the bottom and then slide this into my punch and then punch out. Now, I have already done that and punched a couple out, and this is the piece of leftover card that I had. And before I throw that away, I want to show you another quick tip. You'll see that on the punch you can also stamp out the leaf and the little stem for the apple, or for the pumpkin if that's what you happen to be making. But it's quite difficult to try and get those two pieces lined up so that you can punch them in one go. So what you can do with this, let me take them off because I've already had them stuck on here. What you can do is, you know that, let's turn this around. This is the negative image of where I've punched. And so I know that my punch is going to punch the stem there and the leaf there. And all you need to do is just to put these little stamps in those spaces, just like this, and then pop a block on the top, and you've got the perfect positioning. So now when you stamp that and put it into the punch, you know that it'll match up perfectly in there. Now, I don't want to have any of the stamped images for my leaves and my stems. What I did was I took a little piece of scrap, just a soft suede, and I just punched a few of the stems out. And I did the same with a little piece of leftover old olive green card as well. So I've got myself a whole pile of stems and a whole pile of leaves all ready to go. Okay, so I said that we were using little 3x3 cards. I don't have any that were pre-cut, so all I've done is cut a little piece of card 6 inches by 3 inches and scored it down the middle at 3 inches, and that fits perfectly in our little 3-inch whisper white envelopes, because these are actually just a bit bigger than 3 inches. And I've already started, I've just put little scrap pieces of DSP on my envelopes, and you'll find that when you have this folded over, you see you've got that little border. That means that this little 3x3 card fits in there perfectly. Okay, so I think I'm only going to put 3 cards in my box. I've only decorated 2 envelopes so far, but that's fine. And then after I've got my card, I'm using some DSP from this beautiful Forever Greenery series, and I'm just using this piece. And I'm going to make all the cards the same and the little tag for the front as well. So I cut these into 3-inch strips. I don't really want this to be 3 inches, I only need it to be 2 3/4. But the little piece that's left over is what I've been using just on these decorating pieces. So let's get going. Now, this is one of the pizza boxes, and you can see that it's shiny on one side and plain on the other. The shiny side makes it food grade safe. So if you want to pop a cookie in there, or chocolates or something like that, you know that the inside of the box is safe. And your little pack will come with these all flat. They're so quick to fold up. So I've got my little box all ready. And let's put in 3 envelopes. I know only 2 of them are decorated so far, but we'll pop in, oops, where's the other one? There it is. We'll pop in the 3 envelopes, and then here are the 2 cards that I've already made. I've got one so that it's opening this way and one so that it's opening that way. And then I've got all my little pieces just ready. Where did I put my little, there it is. So first of all I'm going to do is attach this DSP to the front. And I'm only using a quick little multi-purpose glue, but that will stick on just fine. Then what I did was I took my scalloped circles and my plain circles, and I chose just two, a larger scalloped one and I believe it's this one in the circle. And so because I've got a whole little system going, you can see I've already got lots already done. So I'm going to take the red piece and I'm just going to put that on the very front. And then I use the circle on the Whisper White. And again, I'm just going to put that on the front. And what I did was, because I want to make a few of these sets, I actually pre-made all of these little cards. I hadn't done the fronts for them or anything. I just did all the circles and all the card bases and got them ready. So I actually have a big pile of these just waiting to go. And then I'm going to choose one of my little apples that we cut out. Let's put the little You Make Me Smile one on. And they are such quick and easy little cards, these. A really nice little gift though to give to somebody. And you can imagine that these would look just as sweet with the pumpkins. You know, maybe for Thanksgiving or something. Okay, and then I'm going to get one of my little stems that I cut out earlier. Tiny little bit of glue there. It's actually a bit much, so I won't squash it down too fast. And a little leaf that I cut out with the old olive cardstock and the punch. Okay, and that's it. I've got a little piece of the leftover DSP, so I'm going to put that in the front. Just in the front on the inside there. And then you'll notice that I have a little bow on them. And this is some ribbon that's from the little mini August to December catalogue. And it's a 2-pack that comes with one of the autumn suites. Let's just take this off because I haven't actually opened this one. I've only just got these. Take that little piece of tape off there. Now, this is like a basket weave. I don't know if the camera will pick it up enough. It's a really soft mint macaron ribbon. And it comes with this like gross grain metallic copper ribbon, and all I did was I wanted to use the copper because it was narrow, and I just tied a little bow, and I thought if I put a bow on each of the cards, then again they will all be like a matching set. And I'm just going to stick that on with a glue dot. Let's see which way that's going to go. There we go. I'm just going to put it underneath where the stem and the little leaf is and just push that ribbon up. The metallic ribbon, it's not a soft pliable ribbon, but once you have it tied it stays in place. It doesn't sort of fold flat as you've sort of left it. You know, it doesn't flop down or anything. It stays just nice and firm. Okay, so there's our third little card. And I'm going to put it in this little box. And what I've also done is I bought some of these little Starbucks coffees. So I'm going to pop one of those in. You just have to fold that top bit down, I found. And I've got a little mini coffee crisp. I'm going to put that in that side and then fold this up. And then we can do the front. There. Now, the front is very much the same. I've got all the same pieces that I had for the cards, But instead of having the white card base, what I did was I cut a 3x3 piece of the shaded spruce, and that's going to be our backing on here. But the rest of it is the same exact method as making the card. So we've got the backing, then we've got our DSP. Last year I made a lot of these little boxes with the gold pizza boxes, and I put little sets of 6 Christmas cards in for my neighbours, and they were really pretty. And it's a nice little gift to give. It doesn't take too much to make a 3x3 card. You're not using an awful lot of supplies, and it doesn't take too long to make the cards. And again, I had my Stamparatus out, and so I bulk made my cards and had just like a little conveyor belt and an assembly belt when it was time to put them together. Okay, so again, I'm just putting 2 little dimensionals on to glue my apple on, and that will be plenty. And you can see this time I've changed the sentiment and put to an A+ teacher. A little bit of glue for our stem. A little bit for our leaf. Let's put that on there. Just put a little bit more glue on there. And then let's find another one of our little bows so that the box looks exactly the same as the cards. There. And that's such a nice little gift to give to a teacher. And I'm sure they'll enjoy the coffee and the little treat that's inside as well, but a really nice little gift and a nice back to school idea. Now what I also made, just to sort of take the theme a little bit further, was I used some of our 3x6 gusseted cellophane bags, and with one of the cards, instead of leaving a card in the box, I actually used the card and stapled it over the top of the cellophane box. And so you could put different little treats and things in there, like a little hand cream and I don't know, maybe a couple of tea bags and some cookies or something. And that would make either a gift that you could give to a child going back to school or to a teacher as well. So that's my idea for back to school for our collaboration group this month. Check out the names of the ladies at the bottom of my video and it will show you who else took part this month. I know not everybody is taking part because some people are on vacation still, but it's always nice to see what somebody else does with the same theme, and especially if they use the same stamp set too, because it gives you lots of ideas. So thanks again for joining me, and I'll see you all again really soon. Bye everyone.